Welcome in to... Oh, look at Gab now. Head bopping, all good. Just before the show, his technology failed him and it was not a happy Gab.
No,
the head was not bopping. It was
language. A lot of anger.
I felt like saying, language Timothy.
Well, it was very exciting. There's no...
Two things that are a pain in the butt at the moment.
What's that?
This Mbappe,
yes.
Real Madrid. That's been going on for ages.
Right, OK, good.
Absolute
right, yes,
waste of time.
What's the second one?
Shut up. The Sir Jim Ratcliffe confirmation at Man United.
What's that? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, shut up.
Right, Gab, how was your holiday?
It was good. It was good. I was in Tanzania. I saw
isn't that where you got your credit card?
Yeah, you didn't spend $2,000 on my credit card, did you?
There's a tad more than that, but yes, thank you, Craig. I'm grateful for your contribution to my family holiday, which allowed me to see elephants and wildebeest and giraffes and zebras.
No, it's not
cheetahs.
all about you, Gab. What about the kids? What about the kids? Take them to a beach, man, for God's sake. All inclusive.
Well,
that's exactly what my 14-year-old was advocating the whole time that we were camping in the bush.
God! Ants crawling up inside, and all that.
But were you camping or kind
glamping?
Or glamping, yeah.
What's glamping?
Glamping is glamorous camping.
Yes, yes.
Hence
Fancy.
the amalgamation of the two words. Glam.
It was relatively glamorous. I mean, it depends on your it depends on your standards. You know, did we have proper beds? Yes. Did we have mosquito tents? Yes. Did we have toilets and running water? Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, equally, the tent wasn't air conditioned, and, you know, there was only one sitting room for all of us. So, you know, it wasn't quite that glamorous.
All right, so it wasn't a $99 tent out of Costco.
No, it definitely was not.
No.
Not having it. I've only been in a tent once when I was a kid. Well, I wasn't a kid. Youth, juvenile, whatever it was.
All right.
Very juvenile. We went to tent and I was like, sod that. Bunch of the guys, sod that, hotel.
Yeah, no, that's...
I'm beasties.
Stevie's got a great camping story. I don't think I can tell it. It's very on the line.
Oh, yeah?
Most of Stevie's stories are on the line.
I know.
It's
a great one, though. Ask Craig if he was disappointed by tonight's XG. That's from Rob Palmer. Have you been having XG rants of late?
No, I haven't. Actually, Rob was having it was actually Rob Palmer today on... X, Twitter, call it what you like.
Yes.
He was saying, can't remember what he was saying, something to do with the...
it's really interesting.
The XG. I'm not really into all this XG and blah, blah. Yeah. And apparently some people got onto him.
Right.
So I just said to him, I've had this experience.
Yeah, so you and Gab had that big XG.
No. Tread carefully.
Back in the day.
I said, tread carefully of the cult.
Right.
Oh, my God. And there you go.
I have used XG many times on this show recently.
Well, you've learned how to say it, which has been a development for you.
There's another...
I did hear he said times.
Times G, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's the times, isn't it? I call it XG. Like I call you a Muppet.
There you go.
Rob was... listen, I'm a modern guy.
Renaissance man.
I like stats. I just don't like crappy ones, and there's a lot of them are.
No? OK, all right, good. Ali, odds for Girona staying in the top four concerning their current form. What did we say yesterday? Was it 7 points, I think? They're ahead of Athletic Club.
I think 60%.
Yeah, they'd be all right.
I think they're going to be all right. They just got to get out of this little run that they're going into. And this little run, it's actually gone in the direction that it has because they have stopped defending as well as they did before. Now they're making the sort of mistakes that you expect Girona to make from the beginning of the season, and they weren't happening. But I do think that Athletic Club, even though they were good yesterday, I think they run out of legs in the end. I think Girona hang on to the fourth spot.
How concerned, Craig, should Pep be that City have taken 57 shots in their last two matches and only scored twice? Is this one of those weird things where it'll fix itself with enough time, or how does that affect goal scorers' mindsets?
No, I think there'd be a bigger concern if he wasn't creating those opportunities and they were just passing it around, going from side to side. Yeah, clearly he would want more clinical finishing in the final third. But as long as you're creating the chances, it's not going to be every week like we saw against Chelsea, who played pretty well actually, that Erling Haaland's going to miss those chances. So this will those players are too good not to remedy it. I honestly think, and we've talked about it, that if I was him, I'd be slightly more concerned about what's going on at the other end.
Right.
Because I think the front line will figure itself out. Whether the back line does under pressure remains to be seen.
Right, Gab. Rank in order of likelihood.
It's not going away.
You finished?
Correct.
City repeating as treble winners, Liverpool winning the quadruple, or Chelsea winning the cup double? Which is the most likely out of those three?
Oh, wow. I mean, so statistically, they're all fairly remote possibilities.
Yes.
I would probably lean towards City. It's a really good question. I think I'd probably lean marginally towards City winning the treble, just because Chelsea have a ton of issues. And I know obviously the treble's a heavy lift, but you know, it's City and they did do it. They did do it last year. Liverpool winning the quadruple, I think too many things have to go right for that to happen. So I would go City, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Do you concur?
Probably, yes. Even though it would look you think, well, Chelsea's only got to do a couple of things here.
Yes,
But that's a lot.
Yeah.
But I know it's been better recently.
Yeah.
But.
I agree. I concur.
Gab, what is the best derby to see in person in Serie A?
Ooh, in Serie A. Okay, so it depends. It depends what you like, right? If you like to see, you know, tifo, the big choreographies in the stands, then partial to San Siro, I would say the Milan derby. If you like seeing two sets of fans who, despite being from the same city, are incredibly creative in their insults at each other and have a go at each other for 90 minutes, I would go with the Rome derby, although often the football's absolute rubbish in the Rome derby. If you just want to see a derby that's a local derby, and that we haven't had for a while because they've been in Serie B, but with two towns that have this absurd rivalry that goes back to medieval times, where they argue over stupid things like who's more exits off the motorway and whatever, I would go with Brescia against Atalanta, which I still think is one of the most intense derbies in Europe.
For Craig, how hard do you think it'll be for Silva to get back in the Chelsea team with how well Disasi and Colwell seem to play together?
Well, I mean, I suppose it depends I suppose it depends how long that lasts.
Yep.
If they, and I'm presuming that will be the back line for the Carabao Cup final. I don't see any reason why you would change it unless needs must. Then you can only play your way out the side, playing as well as they did. I mean, Malagusta's done a pretty good job because we thought Reece James was going to be a huge hole. Obviously, Chilwell's fit again. But the centre-half position has been an issue, and you've had people playing out. You've had Disasi playing right back, you've had Colwell playing left back. Badia Shields come in, hasn't played particularly well. And Thiago Silva's 39, so I mean, I think he would be. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
See what happens when you have a little cheeky pop at somebody, coughing away?
Don't cough.
Take a breath. Take a breath. Maybe a wee glass of water.
Have you finished?
I feel very comfortable.
I would imagine at 39,
Yeah.
as much as your other half may be upset and go on Instagram, there's got to be an understanding that, you know, there are other players going to come through and take your place at some point.
Ali, by the end of this season, who has a better chance to surpass Haaland as top scorer? He's put Salah and Saka, but Saka's on 12 at the moment, Haaland's on 17. I don't think that's happening.
Okay.
Salah's on 15, Solanke's on 14, Watkins is on 13.
Well, the answer is neither.
Oh.
It's not happening.
Okay.
Erling Haaland's going to score a bunch of goals from here till the end of the season. So.
And that's that.
Yeah.
That's the end of that, Nemo. Yeah, thanks for that. Craig, how would you do the lineup of Real Madrid if Mbappe signs next summer? Well, this summer.
Right, well, let's look at the players that are unlikely to be dropped.
Okay, Vinny, Bellingham.
Then you can figure it out from there. Vinicius, Jude Bellingham. Who's droppable? Hosler doesn't always play. Rodrigo didn't play regular at the start of the season. So then it's what you want to. Then what do you want to do with the shape of the team? Where do you want to play him? I could see him doing something similar to what he's done this year with Vinicius and Rodrigo, which is play a bit of a hybrid pairing with Bellingham coming through the middle. So somebody's going to have to give. It's not going to be Vinicius. It's not going to be, well, it's certainly not going to be Jude Bellingham. It's going to be somebody in the front three. I mean, who else is it going to be?
Yep. Your mate, Jules, is normally a happy chappy guy, but he seems to cut somewhat of a disappointed demeanour at the moment, given everything that's going on. We saw him on on your Gab and Jules podcast, back in the big chair because you're away, alongside Don. He was close to tears.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do some therapy on Thursday to cheer him up.
Imagine Gab being a therapist.
Come on, I got you to remind him.
You still have one not talking.
You still have Randall Colomwani, right? I mean, Mr. 80 million.
There you go.
Up,
Perfect.
No,
yeah, Colomani will do it.
But it's funny, just what Craig was saying there. I wouldn't, about where Mbappe is going to play, I wouldn't rule out the possibility that, because we know that, Bellingham's been playing in that role this season, but we also know that he's played deeper much of his career. I think there's also the possibility he could go back to a 4-3-3 with maybe Valverde as the third guy on the right and Mbappe through the middle, which obviously Luis Enrique has tried to get him to play this season, and then Bellingham in midfield, but still with license to go forward. So I think one of the discussions that Real Madrid would have had with him, and that Carlo Ancelotti specifically will be having with him, is precisely that. Is, look, you're not just gonna be the guy who sits on the left and cuts inside and stands around the rest of the time. You're here for a reason, because we want you to be a big part of this team. So I would expect him to play through the middle in some capacity.
Can I just tell you it's a great problem to have?
It's not bad, is it?
Honestly, this is VIP problems right here. So Carlo Ancelotti will be more than happy to have whatever conversation he needs to have, if indeed that's the case. You just put them out there.
Yep.
Right? And honestly, you put Vini and Mbappe playing together and Bellingham in behind. Look, if Rodrigo has to go to the bench, so be it. He'll come off the bench and actually be an impactful player for you. So honestly, this is a non-issue for me.
I have just one last question about your camping trip, Gab. What was the food situation? We all sat around an open fire? Yes, but what did he eat? How did he eat? Was it a Uber Eats job, dialing in?
I don't think so. It's a little far.
Tanzania?
Yeah.
Was cooking around the fire, or did you have a chef that would come in?
Funny enough, Uber Eats in the Serengeti is pretty limited.
It's gap in the market. There we go.
Exactly. Delivered by drone.
Send Stevie off.
No. There were the people there who serviced the tents, and what they served us. They served us meals, and there was a lot of lovely fresh fruit and local food.
This is VIP problems as well.
Oh man, this is where we play Mbappe.
Exactly. No, it was funny. Somebody who was on the trip asked, why don't they eat zebras and wildebeest? And possibly somebody related to Stevie, I'm not sure. But it did strike me that our guy couldn't answer the question. So I'm going to chuck that out to anyone. Like, has anybody ever eaten zebra meat or wildebeest meat? Is there a reason why? You might eat lamb or chicken, but not zebra or wildebeest? I don't know.
Well, aren't they all endangered, Gab?
They will be if they go out in my back garden.
Well,
no, I mean historically, Dan. I mean historically.
Historically. Okay.
And by the way,
he said
you can go hunting, since if this is your thing, Dan. You can't do it in the national parks, but in Tanzania, and some people do come over, and there are hunting areas where you could hunt the local wildlife, even elephants apparently, which I find pretty grotesque, because for you to shoot an elephant, what do you do? Like show up with a bazooka? Like, is this going to be fun for you? This is.
I was just asking about what you ate.
He sent the kids out every night to catch some wild animals. Yeah, otherwise they didn't.
Pick some berries.
I'm just imagining Gab as the therapist, by the way, because we're all feeling a bit down and depressed sometimes, as can happen.
All right, Craig.
And then
is this part of the positivity corner?
You know, sometimes you're feeling a bit down and it can happen. You go to your therapist and there he is with a big white coat, Mr. Marcotti.
Yeah.
He's going to give you a...
The therapist in a white coat. Who do you see?
Running experiments. Running experiments.
Oh, hold on. I think I went through the wrong door. I was at the psychiatric unit.
Okay, right. That's
It
it.
gives you a soothing hour in financial fair play.
Yes.
Just to tip you
Let
over
me
the
tell you, you
edge.
think you have a problem? Well,
What?
this is what Everton have to deal with at the moment. Let me explain what the financial fair play rules they broke.
Who?
Thanks. Thank you very much. Everton.
Oh, I thought you said Evan.
No, I'm not talking about your boy.
My son, I'm like, well, you didn't like it.
Right, that is it. We're done. Goodness me, what a tangent. ESPN FC will be back tomorrow to reflect on Napoli against Barcelona and Porto against Arsenal. Frank Leboeuf will be here.
Hey.